Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 304 of a year change. Today I'm going to sort of introduce something I've been sort of talking about for the past couple of weeks. Mentioned it this weekend as well. And it's sort of adding in a new exercise. Now, for the past couple of days I've been trying to figure out, what do I want to do? That's part of the reason why I haven't been able to do it, or haven't been able to. Sorry, let me correct that. Part of the reason why I haven't done it is because I think I don't know what I want to do. I want it to be something that, not everyone's going to be able to do, but the majority of people are going to be able to do. I don't want to sort of say, well, I went out and I went out and bought all this stuff. So for a while, I have a set of just little hand barbell, dumbbell things, whatever they're called, like an exercise. And so I was doing that with my treadmill, and I thought I could start doing that, but I don't know enough about it, and it's sort of a very narrowly focused thing, and people would end up having to go out and buy stuff. But yesterday, I completely forgot, and this is going to give you an idea as to how bad things, like even now, even after 10 months of doing this, how far removed I am from exercise. I have something in my house called a door gym, and I had to look up the name because I didn't know what it was called. It was a chin-up bar thingy thing is what I looked up. It's called a door gym, and essentially all that it is, it's just like metal with foam on it, and you hook it to your door, and you can do like chin-up. Well, in theory, we'll get to that in a second. In theory, you can do push-ups and chin-ups and sit-ups and pull-ups and rub-ups and all the other stuff. Anything to do with ups, really. And it just, depending on where you put it in the doorway and stuff like that. Now, I've had this. It's cost me like $20. You get them really, this is what it looks like, by the way. I had to go look this up, so I'm going to show you a picture so you can go and find it. I bought this at like some cheapy store, Walmart or Zellers or Sears or Target or something, years ago. And I do mean years and years and years ago. Probably, it wouldn't surprise me if it's been 5 years. Now, I've had this not stored away somewhere. I've had this hanging in my doorway for so long that I haven't thought of it once during this entire time, and I'm trying to think, what should I do for exercise? What could I do this way? What could I do that way? Don't worry, you're not going to have to go buy one. I'm just doing this to illustrate a point. And then last night, I thought, I'm so stupid. And the reason why it jogged my memory is because I was trying to think of what to do as I was hanging my coat up on it, which is what it has been. It has been a coat rack for the past 5 years because it's hanging on my doorway. And just as I go through the arch, I just sort of put my coat up there. It's always been there for years and years and years and years and years. And I felt really, really stupid because I thought, I have this. And aside from, I could probably do something, that's going to help me use that. And aside from keeping me stable, it's not really designed to, do anything super, super special. I know I'm not going to be able to do pull-ups or chin-ups or whatever you call them. Those things. I know I'm not going to be able to do those. I tried my hand at push-ups a while ago, and I got as far as 2. So I thought, you know what? It's a little bit easier because I have some cushioning on my hands. And, sorry, I just had there's foam cushioning on it, so there's more cushion for the pushing ups. Anyway, sorry. So I had that, so I thought maybe I can try that. But the main thing I wanted to do was I thought, I want to try something that's not going to cost anybody anything. So that we can sort of try that if they decide to follow along, this is what we're going to do. And it's going to be difficult for some. It would have been impossible for me 10 months ago, and that is a sit-up. Now, when at my heavy, I couldn't have done a sit-up. Not just from the fact that I need to be able to be laying down and then sitting up using my stomach muscle abs. There we go. Didn't know what they're called. All the other muscles that go into it, which I don't know, so we're going to call them city-uppy muscles. So all your city-uppy muscles that you use, it's not just the fact that trying to lift 325 pounds of bulk would be next to impossible. But I have tried it in the past, and my stomach got in the way. I couldn't completely sit up without basically just sort of doing a Buddha and sprawling my legs out and going, there we go, so I can fit my gut in there. So I thought, I want to try this again. It's been a very, very long time since I've tried to do a sit-up at all. And I thought, to start things out, because this is what I want to start doing throughout the week, is adding in a new exercise. I've got my treadmill. I've got things under control with that. I really want to try to add something new in there so that and it doesn't have to be anything major, but I thought this is going to work. This will be something that it's my own body weight. It's whatever resistance things that you're trying to do. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start out with sit-ups. I want to see how many I can do, and then I'll cut back from there, and that will be my regular amount. I know that there's sort of that, well, you should go until you're exhausted. Go until you can't do it anymore, and then that's what you do every single day. The problem is, just like when we started eating or when we started fixing our eating, and when we started doing our regular exercise with the treadmill and stuff like that, if I say, well, I know that I can run for half an hour, and I throw up afterwards, but I can do it. Well, then that's my starting point. I'm not going to stick with it. I know I'm not going to stick with it. None of us are. So what I thought is I'm going to start and see how many I can do and then cut it back and like round it off or something. And in my head, I thought, I know it's going to be bad. I'm going to be able to do 5 at most. Well, long story short, I was able to do not exactly 15. I did 5 and then went, oh, this is horrible. I'm going to try doing it again. And then got as far as 9 and then had to rest for just a second. And then I did my 10th or 1, whatever you want to look at. So I did 5, then 9, then 1. So 15, it was at the point when I went, right now my back hurts, my stomach hurts, everything hurts just from 15 sit-ups, which is, I mean, in my head, I'm thinking, I don't think I could have done 5 a year ago. So at least that's a bit of improvement. But I think all that is just because I've lost so much weight. So, and there's that, just to see how much I can do. So I think if I can get to 15, reasonably tough. I figure I can cut that back by 2/3 and start with 10. And just do 10. I do my treadmill in the morning, and then when I come home from work, that's when I'll do the sit-ups. I'll just do 10. And if I do that for a week and then see where things go and then maybe up it to 12 the next week and then I'll just add by 2s. I think that's probably a reasonable way to look at it. Now, I also tried doing a push-up because I thought I have that cushion for the pushing and I'm going to, and it's on the door gym as well. So now it sounds like I'm pushing someone named Jim. I'm not. It's okay. So I decided I'm going to try that and see how far I can go. No, that didn't work at all. I have no upper body strength whatsoever. I barely got 3 in. So, and that's like not even really going all the way down because it's sort of up off the ground. So you're starting here and then you go, So it's a little bit easier than just sort of doing a regular one. That's going to come in time. But the main thing, I guess the thing that sort of struck me so much is that, or so strongly, it's a word, is that I've had this in my house forever. It hasn't been stuffed in a closet somewhere. It hasn't been stuck in my attic. It hasn't been stuck like somewhere where I can't see it. I see it and use it every single day to hang my coat up. And just like, my treadmill did the same thing. I went out and the treadmill's quite a bit older than the videos are. I bought this probably 2-3 years ago. Used it for a bit and then just like pretty much everybody else, it became a coat rack. And that's just, I never use it. And you sit there and you're going, I should really use it because all my computer stuff is in the same room. So if I was watching TV or if I was doing something on the computer or something like that, then I'm sitting in front of it. And of course, we all know what that's like when you start out and you go, oh, okay, I'm all gung-ho, I'm going to do this. And you try to push too hard and you go, this is too hard, I don't want to do this. But it was really a matter of I saved up a lot of money and I spent a lot of money on something that I didn't really need. I could have gone outside to do, but emotionally and psychologically, sure as fuck was not ready for that. So I wanted to use it. So that's what sort of got me started in with doing that as I started doing the videos. But until then, for the better part of a year, it was there for my clothes to hang on and for my coat. And the same thing with the door thingy, gym thing. It's been there for so long that I didn't even register it as something that was intended for exercise. And I'm still really far removed from a lot of the, I could use this and that. You see this all the time with people that are like, well, you could do this and you can do that. It doesn't even have to be exercise. You're out somewhere, you have 10 minutes, go do this. And just, the thought process never really enters my head that way. Or the thought doesn't enter into my head because I don't think that way. Thought process doesn't, you know what I mean? So I've been racking my brain for the past couple of days going, what am I going to do? I need to do something. I need to start a new exercise. Part of that is so that it's brand new to me, so that when I'm introducing it, then I can say, okay, well, here's what I ran into this week, and here's what we're going to run into when we add a second one in there. Time constraints and everything else. I want to take everything into account so that it's not just me saying, well, I have 6 hours every day that I can just do whatever I want. So, you obviously have the same. It needs to be something that is going to be accessible by a lot of people. And although sit-ups aren't perfect, at the very least, you don't have to go out and buy anything. You don't really have to, the reason why I use that is because you can sort of hook your toes in under it. It sort of just keeps you from wobbling all over the place. It just sort of keeps me stable. And especially where I'm just starting out with this, I kind of need it. But if you have someone that will hold your feet, and it doesn't matter if you're only doing 5, and then, you start out that way, just do 1. If you start out with 1, it's the same thing with the treadmill and any other exercise that we've been doing. Same thing with the food and everything else. It doesn't matter what your starting point is. If you're starting at 1 of anything and just do that, 2 or 3 times a week, once it gets to a point where you're thinking, I'm not really feeling anything from it, then go up to 2. Then do that for a week. Then go up to 3. If it's only going up by 1 per week, it's still an improvement. And that's what we're looking to do. Because again, this is a long-term thing. This isn't going to be something that we go, good, I can, it's been a month and I can do 500 sit-ups. I hear, I see people and hear people that are going, oh, well, I did, 50 sit-ups. And you just think, ugh, I can't imagine doing that. I would probably explode. So I'd get probably to 15 or 20 and then just blow up my ass and my head would explode and I just wouldn't be able to continue on. But I think it's just because I'm so far removed from recognizing that, this can be used for exercise, that even when I buy something specifically designed for exercise, it doesn't dawn on me. And I feel really, really stupid because it's been sitting there, like I say, just in plain view. I've actually used it every single day for years, but just never got around to thinking, oh, well, I can use that. That's so simple. So anyway, you don't have to go out and buy anything. If you want to try starting with push-ups or sit-ups or something, reasonable that you can do with, your own body, so that you don't have to go out and buy equipment. You don't have to, if you don't have anyone that can hold your feet or that will hold your feet. There's obviously something heavy, like stick your toes under your chair or a couch or something, so that you can at least get a little bit of stability when you're doing that. Don't break your toes off though, because I've tried that as well, and it does kind of hurt if you aren't careful. But I'm somewhat happy that I can actually do a sit-up because my stomach isn't getting in the way as much. I can still sit up straight. And it's such a foreign activity for me that my back was screaming, my stomach not so much, but my back was really bugging me. And I'm kind of wary with that because I had a back injury a long time ago, but I think I'm really out of the woods because I think the majority of the issues I was having with that was because of my weight. And as I start losing more and more, as I get down to the ideal weight, I think it's going to be a bit easier. So I'm not as scared of hurting myself like I was before. Obviously, if we're trying to do something and you hear a pop or you hear something snap or twang, whatever it is, over the sound of my screaming, if I can still hear it, I know something's probably gone wrong. But in general, I think that it's okay. I don't want to push myself to the point where I'm going to get hurt, but I want to get to a point where I think, okay, you know what? I can at least feel it. Whether it's in my ab, I don't think I have more than one right now, so my ab, and then my back and whatever it is that helps your city-uppy muscles. All of those that are going to work. And I think I just spit on myself. I think I did. Just anything like that, whatever you decide to do. I'm picking this just because it's easy, it's accessible, it's something that everyone may not be able to do, but at least it's something recognizable. You can say, okay, if that's where I'm going to be starting and that's a new exercise, at least I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to go into this weird machine, get all strapped in, and just go, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm exercising and everything's awesome. So it's something very simple. You don't have to join a gym. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And I know this sort of sounds kind of cheap when I keep saying that, but I really never want to get to a point where it's, well, in order to do this, you're going to need to spend some money, because we don't really need to. There's tons of stuff that we can do without that. And the push-up thing, I think, is going to wait for a while. I'd like to maybe continue on with that, but that's going to be put on the back burner. Just for the fact that it's kind of embarrassing to go, I can do 2. That's it. 3 if I really, really push myself. So maybe I'll say, okay, I'm going to do 1 or 2, and that's it. I mean, I've never had to have a physical job where I've lifted anything, and my legs are fine because I'm carrying around, 325 pounds worth of weight all the time, going upstairs and everything else. But when it comes to upper body strength, I mean, aside from feeding myself and typing on a computer, what the hell else do you do? Keep your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just sort of wanted to share that because it's something that I had been looking for, and I found, good enough. This is what I'm going to be using. This is what I'm going to be trying. So I'll keep you updated at the end of the week to see how things go. I want to try to do it as a daily thing anyway, because I'm doing my treadmill every day. So I figure it's a little bit easier for me to introduce this at the end of my day. Just, when I first come home and do it very quickly. It doesn't take very long, like 5 minutes. Assuming it takes 30 seconds to do one, which is a long time. But once that's done, then I think, okay, I have that. I've done that for the day. And as the weeks progress, hopefully I'm going to be able to recognize, okay, you know what? I'm not feeling it as much. I should be able to bump it up by, 1 or 2. And just keep adding to it week by week. But for this week, I'm going to stay at 10 because I think it's something that it's enough that at the end of it, I can feel it. I can feel it in my muscles, like mainly in my back, but not to a point where I'm scared or that it's painful. But I can feel it, and that's the main thing. And it's not too much that at the end I'm huffing and puffing and about to throw up like I did last night. 15 sounds like such a small amount, but it's really hard. But I'm going to try to do that throughout the week, and then sort of do an update at the end of the week and find out where things stand and see how it goes. Because you're never going to know until you try. But until then, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.